Hi, my name is Lindsay, and I am the mother and learning coach of 3 awesome children. We are in the Missouri Course Access Program, or MOCAP, and they have many vendors to choose from. And the accredited vendor that we chose is Missouri Virtual Academy, or MOVA. Our kids are in the 3rd, 6th, and 10th grade. We chose virtual education after we had some bullying incidents at our local school that seemed to get no better. Not to mention the education seemed to be very lacking in the reading, writing, and math. I had been dealing with this for a few years, and I would raise my concerns and I would just get shot down. So for a long time, I would just turn around and walk away. And I finally decided I had had enough when our 2nd grader was assaulted in his classroom, and it seemed that nothing was going to be done regarding that. So I began searching, what are my options? I had no idea of the MOCAP law, and I ran across that, and I searched all the vendors. I came up with MOVA to be the best because you can download all of their curriculum and look at that for yourself to decide for your family. And so we decided to give it a go with MOVA, and it was very difficult working with the school district to get our children enrolled. There was so much pushback from the school, and as I learned more, I realized that the pushback is because the money that each of our children bring into the school from the government is now available to use with these vendors to provide the best education that we feel is for our children. And so I think that was their big pushback because they're losing money. I went to the school to drop off the forms for my daughter, who decided she wanted to be in MOVA. And the next day I went back to pick up those forms as I had advised in an email and in a voice message. 2 days later, I got a letter in the mail from the new superintendent, who told me I was banned from school property, I was fired as a substitute, and that I could not communicate with anybody at the schools besides her, and I could only communicate with her via written form. And to this day, Mexico Public Schools will not communicate with me. They will not communicate with me by phone, email, or letter. Well, in the K-12 system, and especially MOVA, everything is very easy access. Every kid has a login homepage. Parents have a learning coach login homepage. Kids access everything they need just from that page. All their classes are laid out. You can go back into assignments that you want to just look at if you would want to do that. You join all your Class Connects from there. Class Connects are the live classes led by teachers. At the end of every class is an exit ticket. So that teacher can, see if the child is really understanding what's being taught. They usually have 2 to 4 classes a day, ranging from 30 to 50 minutes. They attend those completely by themselves because I don't have time to do that with all 3 of them. But then they have online assignments also. And so we'll sit down and we'll go through those together just to make sure that we're all on the same page and kind of know what's going on. It is all set up very well to flow. Behind me, you can see so many materials. Both of these laptops came from K-12, from MOVA, and all these books, and there's reading books up above. But each book, I have my own book. I have a teacher's book so that if I need some help teaching my children, then I have it. I don't have to look for, I don't have to research. The kids, they have workbooks. So we do a lesson, there's a workbook that goes with it. And so that's a good way of showing me how they're doing. I am so glad that we had this choice, and I only wish that I knew of it sooner. I believe that the day that I gave birth to my children, that I got to decide what is good for them. As parents, we know our children, and we know kind of how to get to them, how to get into their brains and their souls and unlock their beauty. It is very important for the parent's choice to matter when we are talking about the education our children are receiving, where they're receiving that education, what kind of education they are receiving. From the bottom of my heart and our family, I wanted to give a big thank you to every individual, every group, every family, and every legislator that made this law possible. The MOCAP law has completely changed many families. I've heard so many great stories. I want to thank everybody for giving parents a choice in how we educate in how we raise our family.